Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May issue of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. We have a little bit of a change in the agenda from what we sent out, and it was a last-minute change. It turned out that Captain Lewis was called out of town today, so he will not be here. But we're going to fill this agenda up anyway. So we'll start off with Alex Krisman, who's going to talk. Well, we'll start off with our flag salute announcements. Alex Krisman is going to talk about how we can all get a ride through the different services that are available here in Santa Clarita. We're going to have a discussion about creating a community of caring and how we can foster a change by working with our nonprofits by Patty and Lois. Then talk about finances in today's uncertain economy by Richard Hansen. He's going to tell us about that as well. And then I'm going to sum up senior affordable housing from last month. It turns out that I have traced this down to a point where I understand what it is. It's probably going to be a little disappointing for those people that thought it was in some way going to protect the seniors, but I'll let everybody know what it is. Then there'll be our version of public participation, which is the first 5 people that want to speak for 1 minute. The next meeting preview, and we'll adjourn promptly at 9 o'clock. Every month we go through something where I look over the internet, try to find something that happened that's really worthwhile or that's really exceptional. And I don't think we can avoid this month with Mr. Riley Howell, who was a student, a college student who, when the shooting started at his college and kids were running in one direction, he turned the other way and ran at the gunman and tackled him, and thereby gave the rest of his classmates the ability to leave. And also Kendrick Castillo, who was at the STEM high school, who basically did the same thing. And it was interesting about Kendrick is during the time that his father was discussing the possibility of something like that might happen at his school, his dad kept saying, you don't have to be a hero about this. You really do not. You can just, go hide or get away. And he told his dad that if something like that happened, he was going to take action. And by God, it wasn't just words, he did. And he went straight at the gunman and tackled him with some of his other students, and he got in the way of the bullets and was killed. So both of these 2 young men passed away in a very courageous and brave act, showing that, yes.
The robotics team at West Ranch either knew him or had been with him at a competition, and they've been posting a lot of stuff on their Facebook page. And they even opened a GoFundMe account for people who wanted to donate towards, his passing.
Very good. And so it's an exceptional thing of saying, and I've always wondered, would I have the same kind of intestinal fortitude to go ahead and take action like that should danger cross my path? Also, just lastly, remember, I grabbed this off of Facebook, but just remember that not only are there individuals that sometimes escape unharmed and sometimes give their all, there's those that end up with some kind of a debilitating injury that follows them for their whole life. So that turns around and it makes it understand there's heroes all around us. And with that, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, for announcements, it's kind of an expansion of what we've talked about before. Today at the Old Town New Hall Association, Hart Park brought us a bigger flyer about their Artisan Row event on May the 18th and 19th. Also, there are a whole listing of what's going to happen in Hart Park throughout the year. You've seen it before. I know it's an eye chart. Remember, I'll put it in PDF and send it out to everybody so you'll understand everything that's going to go on at Hart Park this year. CalArts is going to provide an animation showcase. This is something new that you haven't heard about before. It's going to be on May 31st, and I think it's going to be at the Newhall Family Theater. The cost of entry will be like $10, and there is the website where you can get your tickets if you care to see what our young artists are doing in the area of animation, and also the fact that all this animation is being done on cell phones and stuff like that. It's really amazing. Saturday, June the 1st, we talked about it before, is our Heroes raffle and silent auction. So we can honor our first responders and heroes again. If you want to be a vendor, the information is there as well. This is new. You haven't seen this before. It's the exhibition of quilting and fabric arts that is being presented by the arts community in downtown Newhall. It's going to be on June the 8th and 9th. Again, if you want to be a vendor, the information is there. Or if you just want to go and see what's going on, they have a suggested donation of $5. This seems really reasonable to go in there. Thursdays at Newhall. This is the whole Thursday at Newhall schedule. Again, I doubt whether you can read it from there. I can't even read it from here. But when you'll see it in PDF, you'll know every Thursday what's going on in downtown Newhall. This is an interesting situation. This is the new TICAM marketplace where different artists will be able to share a space and sell their wares. And it's new down there. It's just getting started. It's growing, and I think it'll do pretty well. It's at 24201 West Valencia Boulevard, and they're really trying to provide a place where individual artists are able to show off what they do. Do we have any participants?
Inflation has not reached us. We do not have any.
Oh my! And we had seven or 8 minutes. You know, I'm amazed.
We have somebody wrote their name on here. Maybe they can speak.
Well, that's Mr. Dunn. Anyway, Captain Lewis, I spoke with him at the city council meeting last night, and he apologized, indicated that he had to leave town this afternoon. Committed to be at the next meeting. I emailed him. He wanted me to go home and email him the date, and I'm supposed to call his secretary and get it on the calendar, and I didn't do it today. I got to do it tomorrow. But he wants to talk to us about what new things he's put into effect here in Canyon Country, and you might also want him to clarify some of the discussions relative to what happened at the council meeting last night. If you were aware of it, is that they eliminated their ordinance, which restricts sex offenders from living in proximity to certain places because of supposedly a constitutional problem and lawsuits that an attorney had been putting up. It's been all in the paper. Now, there still is what he can do and what they have been doing. He talked about it at the city council. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that discussion out of the city council meeting, and I'm going to post it with our stuff so you can hear exactly what went on. At first it was on the consent calendar. I didn't think they were going to talk about it at all, but then once a little bit of a discussion started, then they all had to say how much they were going to make sure that everybody was in a good shape. But the one question I do want to ask Captain Lewis and talk to him about is, how does he know which one of these ordinances that he enforces and which ones he doesn't enforce? Right? Because I don't, some of them are enforced by code enforcement. And does he have a list of the ones that the city wants him to enforce or that he'll agree to? So he's very, very good about answering questions. And so I'm sure he'll answer anything that you ask him when he shows up. But in the meantime, I want to thank all of you for choosing to attend the Canyon Country Advisory Committee, and I hope to see you back here next month. Thank you very much.